Hi, my name is Annamieka Hops, and this is the Art Friends Show, where every conversation focuses on getting to know the essence of creativity itself. I'd love to invite you as well to join me inside of Art Friends School, where we go deeper into these topics and join in with other art friends around the world. Thanks so much for joining us, and let's get to the show. Art friend, let's meet another art friend. Hey, my name's Annamieka, and this is the Art Friends Show, where we're going live every day for 100 days in a row, workshopping the concept of the Art Friends Show. The intention is to make friends with our creativity and each other. So I'm an artist in Portland, Oregon. I'm inviting all kinds of artists from emerging to established to world-known to come talk about their process. And today's guest is Sherri Snyder. Without further ado, I'm going to ask her to join the live, and then you can meet her right along with me. Here we go.
Great.
There you are.
All righty. Wow. All right.
Hi, Sherri.
Technology is working right now.
You are doing it. So this is an opportunity to experience this tool of Instagram Live to, perhaps meet some other fellow kindred spirits and share about your process. So can you tell us your name, where you live, what kind of art you make, and then maybe show some of it to us?
I would love to. Hello to people out there, and it's so great to meet you in person, Mika. So I live in Rhode Island, and I create watercolor paintings. Mm-hmm. And as I've said before to you, is I also am a yoga teacher and practice yoga on a daily basis. And so my art, oftentimes I'll do yoga or meditation and then go into a watercolor process.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. So if I don't meditate and if I'm not in the right headspace, then it just doesn't flow right. I feel like it's forced. So the more relaxed I am, then the more it just comes out naturally.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Can we see what comes out when you do that?
I have a few with me. I have a couple different styles. So cool. This is one of my...
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. What?
So a water lily.
Show us.
Yeah. So I love water. I love water lilies. And with this one, it's I do a watercolor wash first, and then I do the drawing.
Yeah.
And then I go back and I add more and more and more. And I don't always know when it's done. So I leave it alone, then I come back to it and do a little more.
Yeah.
So that's one of them.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So the other thing I do is mandala paintings.
Ooh, I love this. It's like a mandala and so mandala, right, have radial symmetry typically, and you're working within a circle, but then you also have this asymmetry of nature, which is
right.
Gorgeous juxtaposition. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm not always good with exact symmetry. I feel like I'd like the imbalance within the balance. So yeah.
Beautiful.
So for example, this is another one.
Wow. Dude, these are so fresh takes on mandala paintings.
This is a little symmetry.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then but I expand to it, and sometimes I'll add some words. Mm-hmm. Inspiration.
Beautiful.
And then this one I'm working on. This is almost done.
Wow. Ooh, I'm really attracted to the value contrast of like the dark green to make that iris pop. Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like to create, I like, again, the symmetry, the asymmetry.
Wow, fun. These are rad. It's fun to see your work. You have a whole stack. I'm so glad you prepared to show us.
Well, I didn't want to take you in my studio because it's a little messy, but that's okay. Artists are messy, right?
We
So this
are.
is
I'm
another one.
the messiest human. Believe me, but I also need an ordered space to function. So I think a lot of us have that kind of tension in life as well as in our work.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been painting for about 30 something years. I studied art, I studied psychology, practicing psychotherapist. And so I feel like my painting helps to balance and just relax me so I don't get too stressed out
Yeah.
in this crazy world.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, during the pandemic and COVID, when I was, we were all stuck inside, I was busy painting and I was, you know,
Yeah.
be a happy duck.
Happy duck. That's amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
well, that's so cool. And
Yeah.
that you're able to, so you said you've been a practicing psychotherapist for 30 years.
Yes.
And
30 plus. Yeah.
wow. And
Yeah.
yeah, in terms of your expertise in mental health and being a certified yoga teacher and
Mm-hmm.
painting, I'm curious, I'm also curious in the underbelly of these calming meditative practices, like what you see. Let me try to say this succinctly. Right. If painting is a way we take care of ourselves, where do you see that being effective, and where do you see room for growth in a painter in
Mm-hmm.
terms of it being a self-care practice?
If it's a self-care practice, I think that sometimes it can be a little bit, some artists don't feel their painting is self-care. Some people it's sort of their work.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like they're talking a different language.
Yeah.
For me, it's both.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I'm in my work mode, so what I do is I take my artwork and then I have it printed in
Oh,
fabric.
cool.
And then I take that fabric and I have it made into tote bags and other things. So when I'm in that mode, I'm in work mode. When I'm doing my watercolor painting, I'm just in that soothing place. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Um, I,
Yeah. Cool.
I
So
would say,
like
yeah, not,
the painting itself, the watercolor painting, and as you described your process, like the meditation beforehand, or that part of creation is your self-care, and then you're like, I'm gonna get this printed on textile, I'm gonna
mhm.
sling it as tote bags. I like tote bags too.
Yes,
Yeah,
I love it.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
really good to hear, that balance. And
Hmm.
as a working artist myself, I'm grappling with that, and it changes. It
Yeah.
changes seasonally and by the different chapters of life, where it fits in. And it's I remember there was an interview a few days ago with Jennifer Orkin Lewis of August Wren, and she also described how she protects the painting practice itself by
Hmm.
somehow convincing her mind to not think about what type of products it would be made into, but
Yeah.
focusing specifically on following her nudges.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If you're truly in that process, you're not thinking about what's going to happen with it, including, is this an effective painting? Is this perfect? Is this what? You're not judging it. You're completely in that moment
Mm-hmm.
of creation.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, you need to step back and then say, was this just a process of my meditation, or
Mm-hmm.
is this meant to be a product
Yeah,
that I'm going to sell? And it's not always, but sometimes if I'm in the mode where I have to paint a product, that I'm not in the moment of creation.
that's
Yeah.
interesting. I feel like that
Hmm.
might be in the realm of art and personal practice, and
Hmm.
art as designers, because there's also a lot of fun receiving an illustration assignment, for
Hmm.
example, and coming up with that. And I get it, and I walk this path and this question too. And my very first paid gig as an artist was illustrating for the local paper,
Uh-huh.
the in our hometown. And so I started with that illustration hat on, and I love the constraint and the creative problem solving of producing something for a specific purpose. And I wonder if it's simply that we need that personal practice, that it's necessary to always kind of support our integrity with our own style. And then, you know, we all have different processes for how we design or how we then build it into something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think that I like the word that you use, integrity, because it's hard to create for somebody else or for a company or for the external and maintain your integrity as an artist. Sometimes people feel if they're solely producing for somebody else, they lose their soul. So it's important that you maintain that, as this is still, your heart is still in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a, I mean, it's a lifelong, like there's an art to that, right? That's really interesting. And I'm so interested in your perspective as a psychotherapist on all of this. Yeah, so let's see. We do have to wrap this up in a couple of minutes. So I would love if you just share, you had this really interesting personal fact that you have a lot of animals. Can you tell us about your pets a little bit and a little bit about your life?
I would love to. So animals are like through and through me. So I live out in the country, and I have 8 acres of property, and we've bred golden retrievers before. They're the best animals. But we also have 11 chickens. We've got a pet pig who lives outside. Her name is Jenny. She's very sweet. Jenny. And then right now, 2 cats and 1 dog. And the dog is a rescue from Tennessee. He's a Newfoundland.
Oh, wow.
So
what a family of furry and feathered critters.
Yeah.
Wow. What's it like to have
a lot of that. A pig? Oh, she's so sweet.
Yeah.
They're actually very smart, and you can actually teach them to sit and give paw, but I've never done that. But they're very smart. She's very happy. She wags her little tail, and she knows her name, and she used to love hanging out with the golden retrievers, but the rescue, the Newfie, he's not so much of a team player, so he doesn't play with her as much.
Yeah. Fascinating. Oh my gosh. So cool. Well, and so how can people get in touch with you? They can follow you here on Instagram. Do you do things locally? Do you do things online? What's your goal in terms of your art community?
I would love to build. I feel like as a painter and artist, sometimes you're working so alone and solo. So connection with other artists. I follow other artists. I like cheer people on. Oh, great show, great this. So I am on Instagram. It's Sherri.Snyder.16. I also have a website, artinspiredbystillness.com.
Cool.
So feel free to follow me. I do local shows. I'm in a local Massachusetts flower show the end of March, and I do different pop-up, art shows. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, it's so nice to meet you, and thank you for sharing of yourself and being willing to do your first Instagram live with me. I'm so honored, and you did an amazing job, and we're co-creating this. Thanks for being willing to, follow the conversation where curiosity took us, and I look forward to following you now and seeing what you're up to.
Thank you. And thank you. I love your energy, and I love the concept of just building this connection of community across the country. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I think there's something there, and it'll be fun to, see what shape we can build it into. I feel like it's not just, I'm spearheading the project, but it's really informed by these conversations. So, all right. Bye.
All right.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you to debrief in the Zoom.
All right.
Bye.
Right. Bye. Thank you.
I'd love to have you inside of Art Friend School, where we go deeper into these topics. Follow the link that's in the show notes or find it on my website at annamieka.com.